This is my presentation on Andy Warhol by Brittany Cummings-Nyberg. There's some fan art done of Andy. Some quick facts. Andrew Warhol is his full name. He lived August 6, 1928 to February 22nd, 1987. And there's some quotes throughout this presentation by him. He's a pretty interesting guy. Early life. Andy was born and raised in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. His parents were Slovakian immigrants. At 8 years old, Andy contracted a rare and sometimes fatal disease of the nervous system called chorea. During the time he was bedridden, his mother gave him his first drawing lessons, becoming one of his favorite childhood activities. At 9, his mother bought him a camera and he immediately took up photography, developing film in the family's basement. At 14, his father passed away, but in his will he requested that all of his life savings go towards his son's college. And chorea is a primary feature of Huntington's disease. It causes involuntary and irregular sporadic thrashing movements of the limbs. That would make it very hard to be an artist, I would imagine. After graduating, he attended college at Carnegie Institute for Technology to study pictorial design. He graduated from college with a bachelor's degree in fine arts in 1949. He was hired as a commercial artist for Glamour magazine. Down there in the corner is his magazine picture that he has. He won quite a few awards. He used his own blotted lines and stamps to create his drawings, as you can tell in the bottom picture there. Fashion wasn't what you wore someplace anymore, it was the whole reason for going. I really like that picture there, or some of his earlier works are probably my favorite. Another quote, "The idea of waiting for something makes it more exciting." There's another picture of some brightly colored bugs. In the 50s, when he lived with his mother, there were always cats around. In 1954, he published a limited edition book with a series of 25 cat portraits, hand-colored watermarked paper. The portraits were not of his own cats, though, but based on photographs of New York cat photographer Walter Chendoha. I really love all of his cat pictures. They're strangely colored, but I think that's what is the main draw to them. His career, Warhol began to devote his time to mostly painting. In the early 60s, he debuted the pop art concept, which isn't really the cat there, but I just wanted to put another cat picture up. He focused mainly on mass-produced goods. In 1962, he produced his first Campbell's soup cans painting, creating a stir in the art community, bringing Warhol and the pop art into national spotlight. There is a picture of his Campbell's soup cans. Oh, that one's different. Strange. More of his famous pop works are in the Coca-Cola bottles, vacuum cleaners, and hamburgers. He's pretty good at advertising. Other works of art. He also loved to paint celebrities in bright colors, most famously known Marilyn Monroe, Elizabeth Taylor, Mick Jagger, and Mao Zedong. Trying to get this out of the way so you can see the pictures. Okay. Oh. In 2008, his well-known painting 8 Elvises resold for $100 million, making it one of the most valuable paintings in world history back then. There's his 8 Elvises. This picture makes it look like Elvis is moving from a distance. It's pretty cool. The Factory, 1946. Andy opened his own art studio, a large silver-painted building that he called The Factory. It soon became one of New York City's hot spots where some of the wealthiest people gathered for elaborate parties. Musician Lou Reed, included as a guest, recorded a song in tribute to the hustlers and transvestites he encountered at the factory. In his song Walk on the Wild Side, verses include descriptions of people who were regulars in the factories in the 60s. Actor shoots Andy Warhol. On June 3rd, 1969, Andy was shot by Valerie Solanas, an active feminist and writer who is part of one of Warhol's films. He was seriously injured, spending weeks in the hospital. The belief was she was so upset with Warhol because he didn't use her script in his film. She was arrested and pleaded guilty. That picture down there was one of many that I could have chose from. Looks like he was very seriously injured. Lots of scars. Other media. In the early 70s, Warhol published The Philosophy of Andy Warhol and Exposures, pictured down in the corner there. He also experimented with video art making, more than 60 films throughout his career. Usually abstract, very abstract. His most famous films were Sleep, which is a film about poet John Giarno, oh my bad, sleeping for 6 hours, and Eat, which is a man eating a mushroom for 45 minutes. Now, I watched about 5 minutes of Sleep, and I couldn't really get past that, and Eat was a bit more disturbing. I think I watched that maybe 5 minutes. They were very long. They were very strange. He also took up sculpting and photography, then he moved into television, hosting Andy Warhol's TV and Andy Warhol's 15 Minutes on MTV. Other works of art. Self-portraits. He loved making self-portraits. There was many for me to choose from. Here's some more self-portraits. Other works of art. He had quite a few sets that he did. He had his gun set here. They all look vaguely similar. And then there's the electric chair and the Man on the Moon. The Man on the Moon is more of his pop style. The electric chair was more screen printing. There's one of his skull sets. I couldn't find too many of the original. I just used this one that I found off of his website for his museum. There's the queens. He had a set where he did a bunch of queens in bright colors and squares. I think they're pretty interesting. And Mickey Mouse, pretty popular in pop culture. There's another quote. Once you got pop, you could never see a sign the same way again. And once you thought pop, you could never see America the same way again. And there's another cat picture. I really like his cats. I don't know why. The death of Andy Warhol. He died February 22nd, 1987 at 58 years old. He enjoyed being mysterious, so his personal life is still contested. Some believe he was gay and his art was infused with homoerotic imagery. However, he claimed that he remained a virgin for his entire life. He had a museum dedicated to his life and works located in his birth city, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I thought that quote was rather interesting. Here is some works cited. I mainly used Google. And then the Warhol.org one was, I believe, his museum. Alright, that is it, the end. Oh, and there's a cat picture again. I really like his cats.